And it comes down to ethics and ethical dilemmas and ethical decision making. Ethical decision making is based on conflicting or different values. We're talking about values that are very much part of the fabric of who we are. It's essentially a moral compass. It's what we feel is important to us. And the challenge with values is that they are given to us from an early age, from our primary caregivers, whether it be our parents or teachers, those sorts of audiences, because we would be acknowledged and approved, given approval or fed, whatever, if our behavior adhered to those around us. For example, with my son, respect is a huge value. It's my number one value, in fact, after having done exercises numerous times. So guess what? Guess how he was raised? With respect, Mr., Mrs., please, thank you, those kinds of things. Because he knew, although the organism, the human being of my son knew that to get what he needed to make his way and move through the world, he had to bend, or not even bend, but he had to adopt behaviors and adapt behaviors based on what would get him what he needed. So our values are very much part of who we are. A lot of times we don't acknowledge them, but we all have values. So when you have conversations around, should Elon have unlocked the Cybertruck? All of those kinds of things are not predicated on logic. Therein lies the challenge, right? It's not a logical argument. It's not a logical decision. And you know that you're in a values conversation. One of the telling ways is that a lot of times the conversation goes, yeah, but this, and the person on the other side will say, yeah, but, okay? So the yeah is the cognitive, yeah, I get it, but here's my value. So when you hear the but, that's the value part that's now being entered into it. And that's, again, why logic doesn't actually come into this, because cognitively what's using our executive functions and prefrontal cortex and all those other things. Our values are actually even deeper seated in that, because if you think about it, they were formed in the early days when our brain was just developing.